The 2012-2013 school year started with a bang. Westlake and Oaks Christian with much fanfare for the de facto curtain raiser as they opened the battle for veterans. The Lions were impressive in their big win over Granite Bay, a team that would eventually win a state championship. Here, Francis Owusu with a game-breaking play. Westlake won their opening game 2 in dramatic fashion, a late field goal to lift them beyond Del Oro in OT. In the season's first meeting of great rivals, Santa Paula battled Fillmore in mid-September in a non-league contest. Matt Dollar would have his troops ready for this one. Fillmore marched past Santa Paula 35-18 thanks to 166 yards and 3 touchdowns from record-setting running back Colin Farrar. What a career for that young man. The following week, John Mack returned to Ventura County with his Crespi High School team. The Celts charged out to a 27-0 lead in their win over Westlake. Crespi would actually eventually miss the playoffs on the season. Mack left, of course, for Santa Clara this spring. In October, we got our first look at Zach Green. Look at this run to open the Seraphs win over Simi Valley. More from this star later on. Nordhoff entered their key league meeting with Oak Park unbeaten and survived with a 21-12 win, which of course you saw live right here on VCSPreps.com, and that demonstrated their future intentions. The Rangers looking for a league championship and maybe a CIF title as well. Buena and Ventura met amid all the normal fanfare of Nerd Day, and what a game it was that followed the week's hijinks. The Bulldogs charged out to an early lead against their bitter rivals with the first quarter winding down, but the Cougars responded in remarkable fashion.
Joe Russell from the 2 to the 15. A wedge at the 20. Outside at the 30.
That's all over.
Joe Russell in a foot race with the kicker. 30, 20, 15, 10, 5. Touchdown Cougars.
98 yards.
The Cougars would go on to win, but both teams ended up missing the postseason. Oaks Christian would run past Moore Park in Week 9 to set up our first Marmani League championship game showdown. Who else? St. Bonaventure and Oaks Christian. This was a game that had absolutely everyone buzzing, including Bonnie quarterback Ricky Town.
I'm excited. I think it's a great game. It's 2 great teams playing each other. It's gonna be a battle. Best man's gonna win, and hopefully that's us.
The Seraphs prevailed 30-21 and earned the number 1 overall seed in the Pac-5 division, while Oaks Christian was forced to face Sherman Oaks Notre Dame in their opener and lost. The Camarillo Scorpions closed the season emphatically, beating rival Rio Mesa to claim their 4th straight Pacific View League title, the first time that's ever been done. Scorpions then battled mighty Harvard Westlake in their playoff opener. Camarillo's defense shut down Harvard Westlake star quarterback Chad Knopf, and the offense was on fire, leading the Scorps to a 48-21 victory. They would lose the following week to Cathedral Catholic. On to the quarterfinals, and probably the game of the season as St. Bonaventure battled Santa Margarita. Joe Curley was there for VCS Preps.
I think that's one of my biggest memories of the whole season from a Preps perspective, when you go to a high school football game and it's a big event with all the trimmings.
The Seraphs started strongest and charged out to a 21-7 lead, only for Santa Margarita to eventually send the game to OT.
To see Santa Margarita, really have its, a lot of times you have a great champion who on the way out has one last gasp. I mean, that, 2 touchdowns in a couple minutes with some of the biggest hits that you'll ever see.
The Seraphs prevailed in overtime 28-21 behind who else? Zach Green.
Thing that I'm going to remember about Zach Green is his maturity. He's somebody who had a goal, somebody who did everything he could with the guidance of his family to achieve that goal, somebody who basically was an Arizona player, when he was still a Seraph.
Even legendary Santa Margarita coach Harry Welch recognized the special nature of this game.
Incredible night, 2 wonderful schools getting together and 2 beautiful communities coming together in such a positive spirit. In one sense, in the largest sense, I think, boy, there's hope for America.
St. Bonaventure eventually fell to Mater Dei in the semifinals, but what a run in the Pac-5 for the Seraphs. That left us only with the Nordhoff Rangers. As they tried to win the first CIF title in school history, the Rangers relaxed before they looked to claim a CIF championship.
We've been a relaxed team all year. We actually always talk about throwing a party on the football field when we get there.
The Rangers did throw a party as they beat West 31-14, delivering the school's first CIF title, won also by retired head coach Cliff Farrar. Joining Farrar as retired head coaches after the season, 3 legendary men as well, as Dennis Reed Miller, Brad Stewart, and Donnie Ray called it quits after this past year. All will be remembered fondly, but the Stars' Bob Batista remarked on Ray's achievements.
I don't think people realize the amount of football the man has been part of over the last 25 years at all levels. I mean, all the way up to the NFL. And to have a guy like that impacting kids in Ventura County was pretty neat to see.
Ray, of course, will still play a part this upcoming season as an assistant coach at Pacifica.
I've had a wonderful career. I've been involved in football for 50 years, 10 as a player and over 40 as a coach, and that's been my life, my livelihood. Other than fishing, there's not a lot of things I like to do.
The 2012 football season is one that will not soon be forgotten and gave fans in Ventura County all the more reason to look forward to next year. We'll be back in the fall, of course, with complete coverage. For VCS Preps Video, I'm Danny Pate.